Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Monday, happy inauguration day. It's going to take place here in about 45 minutes. So by the time you watch this video, there's a decent chance we're going to see some extremely high volatility. And what's volatility, you say? Well, it looks a little something like what we're seeing here. A rip from 107,000 down to 99,700, right back up to 110,000, and right back down to 103. That's what volatility looks like. So it's going to get even better from here. So I would recommend, of course, as per usual, low leverage, low position size, or just in general, avoid trading with leverage today. It just seems like it's going to be a bad idea. While the market does appear to be doing well, it got destroyed yesterday. Okay, so please know that a lot of coins are just getting absolutely hammered. So it's just not ideal trading conditions right now. So again, when these fundamental type of catalysts occur, it's best to avoid it altogether. Now, I'm a little bit more on the bullish side of things, not just because I feel like the inauguration, President Donald Trump is going to be like a good thing for crypto. I more so feel that because the charts are pretty much telling us that. We had very significant support here. Take a look at this here, 99,000. This is the macro support, right? Based on just a consistency of seeing 99,700 retested over and over again. The price comes down, holds like a champ right there, and takes right off. Okay. So again, that long at 100,000 would have been an awesome idea. Okay. Now again, I'm not about to take something like that on a late Sunday evening when Asian markets open and things get kind of weird, right? I prefer to wait for traditional market hours. But regardless of that fact, that's kind of what happened. So let's take a look at the back end data, see what's going on. If you're new to the channel, I generally like to look at liquidation first to get a baseline of where the price actions hedged the most, where people are, where shorts are at, where longs are at, just the whole thing there. So it's important to identify that because it helps us understand what direction the coin might go based on those larger time frames, or even smaller time frames too. We can zoom into the last 12 hours and see what that looks like. Either way, hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. Deeply appreciate that. And of course, for all those who've been hitting the like button on every single video, I'm super thankful for you. And even just watching and learning too, that's fantastic. So good for you and trying to make a better trader out of yourself. So let's take a look here. The last 7 days, first of all, we can kind of recognize that there's a lot more liquidation on the downside than the upside here. But pretty much anything in the local, 15, well, I guess probably more specifically, the last, 3 or 4 days, anything just got completely destroyed. Anyone taking longs and anyone taking shorts, right? Just hammered in both directions. So for the most part, we see these late shorts and late longs with previous longs at 95,000. Keep in mind, these liquidation levels are not where people are getting in. They're where their liquidation event could occur and also where stop losses are placed. Okay, so we take a look here at the 30 days here on the right-hand side. We can see again a lot of these. See these smaller bars here? These are late shorts jumping in. So late shorts at 110 to 113, upwards of 116. Okay, so they could have a very bad day here in a couple of hours, depending on how things go. I wouldn't feel secure short in the market right now. I just don't. Now, again, I don't feel very confident taking longs either, just based on how things are going. But the truth is, you're probably going to find more success with longs than shorts at this exact moment, based on how well Bitcoin held its support range. A lot of alts are effectively bottoming out or have bottomed out with that massive liquidation sweep over the weekend. So a lot of things are looking positive here for further upside. Liquidation delta, we can kind of see here as well that we are in a position where there's a lot of liquidation, but it's tapered off significantly. So we were upwards about 12 billion at one point. Now we're down probably in like the 4 or 5 billion. So that's pretty much a good thing, regardless of the fact that it's still kind of high. It's nice for that to naturalize. It allows for these longs essentially to be in much better shape. But the truth is, more people are taking longs than shorts at this exact moment, and it tells us that shorting into this makes very little sense, right? That's kind of the concept there. We zoom in here, open interest. A lot of folks are heavy at 107, 108.5, and then of course previous to that, or lower than that if you will, 105 and 104. Obviously there's some longs at 99,700. Makes sense, perfectly sensible. That's a key level support. Most people are going to add to their positions there. Hadn't I been sleeping, I probably would have done the same thing, right? So again, it depends on where you're at, but some folks are going to ask like, hey, where's all the trade signals? Well, truth is, this is a very trashy market. I don't like to trade weekends for obvious reasons. And even here so far today, it's looking pretty ridiculous. So either way, we have a bullish engulfing candle here on the daily time frame that's generally favorable. So we close above 105,000. There's a solid chance we're going to see further upside because it shows the bulls controlled the last 24 hours of trading. That's again what that tells us, okay? That's good news. Both SMAs are converging here at about 98,000. That's a good sign as well, letting us know that support at 99/100,000 makes sense, which we've already seen that tested here locally. And then, of course, we can see RSIs are in good shape. Stochastic is swinging up. It could be due to correct itself, of course, because last couple times we've seen stochastic hit its higher point, we have seen the price action essentially pull back after, right? So there's potential for the price to retrace here soon now that we are, quote unquote, overextended. But we're also potentially in price discovery here. And I say potentially because we're not maintaining above that 108 level here from recently, but for the most part, we haven't closed at that level yet either. So until a daily candlestick closes, we don't have full-on confirmation knowing that we're here to stay, right? It's still premature. So 4-hour time frame, let's take a quick look. We can recognize here again, they've got that bounce off that macro support. When it comes to the fib levels, they're starting to line up pretty nicely with these key levels here. So this is pretty good little, support ranges, if you will. 0.382, that 102,000, that's that local high. Could be potentially a support level the price retraces. We take a look here, of course, at the RSI. We can see we're over 50 on the RSI, still a great sign. While money flow index is pulling back, that's a flawed statistic based on how much selling pressure we're seeing in these weird areas here, and that's not really a good gauge. So anyone who's using Margaret Cipher and those things there, please take it into consideration that you're going to see some false positives there because the money flow index is getting kind of thrown around, and honestly, Mondays, MFIs are never really the most reliable just because of how flat most weekends are trading, with the exception of the last 24 hours for Bitcoin and obviously the rest of the market. MACD is trying to converge. That doesn't matter too much right now. Kind of a false positive as well. But I would say, generally speaking, we have good momentum on the upside. Technically still establishing higher highs and higher lows. But again, it's very choppy, right? I do not like trading this kind of price action. It makes, I wouldn't say it makes very little sense, but it's just not sensible is a better way to do it, just to describe it, to try to trade into this. Because I mean, as soon as you take a long, you're going to get destroyed. The price goes the other way, then vice versa. It's really hard to find a good entry in these situations. So best thing to do is maybe consider averaging in, or again, just no leverage period, right? I know it's like this compulsion that most people have to try to take leverage just because Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing it, and everyone else online is posting awesome results. But you're going to find a lot less heartache if you minimize your risk. And right now, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Who cares if you miss out on a couple of good opportunities? There's going to be tons more later, right? Please recognize that. So either way, at this point here, when we take a look at the hourly, we can see that this is Chop City. Do you like chopped salads? Well, that's what's going on right now. Okay, that's basically it. We can see the lagging span within the price action. It's jumping in and out. Conversion lines over the baseline, that is generally favorable because again, we have good momentum, and we're technically above the cloud, which is kind of averaging itself out at 105. So the easy way to understand is we have a decent amount of confluence at this $105,000 range, and that should be the likely support. If we close above 105, that would give us a bullish engulfing candle on the daily time frame, and that would identify a lot of positivity for us as well. So I'm really looking for a closure at 105 or higher today to warrant a long position, pending the opportunity even comes up, right? Because again, by this time tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very unique price chart. That's my guess. Obviously, we never truly know, but inaugurations only happen once every 4 years. And again, crypto is a pretty big deal right now for a lot of people. And obviously, President Trump is supporting that. So cool. All right. So that's what we got there, folks. Again, sometimes the best trade is no trade, and that's okay. But I would just say if you're going to err on the side of caution, don't short into this. It doesn't make... it's not very practical to try to short into a bullish uptrend. Most things are still looking pretty good here. In the overall sense, I'm super happy with how well we held at this $100,000 mark. Okay. All right, folks. I'll post a playout chart in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here shortly. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you soon.